Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and welcome to something new for the channel. This is my first ever Mega Construx review. That's right, this isn't a LEGO review. This is my first time ever reviewing a building toy that isn't LEGO. My entire life, I've been very much a LEGO purist. I haven't really been interested in getting like sets from other brands. But I am a very big Pokemon fan, and when the Mega Construx Pokemon line first started, I really wasn't interested because I didn't think they looked very good. But as time's gone on, they've seemed to improve their building style a little bit, and I saw this set on shelves, and I loved how the Galarian Zigzagoon looked. He's one of my favorite Pokemon. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon, so I was like, okay, I kinda need him. So I decided to buy this set, see what it's like, and see if I would end up liking it. And I won't spoil what I think of the set yet, I'll go through the review first, but if you guys are interested in seeing more reviews like this of other Mega Construx Pokemon sets, or even other like building toy companies, if you have any other ideas, let me know in the comments, because I would love to do more of this, because it's sort of fun to take a look at something that isn't just the traditional LEGO. So yeah, if this video performs well, I'll definitely do more of them, but yeah, anyway. Let's get on to this review. So from what I can tell about this set, the actual part of the set that's a toy and that you're supposed to play with are the actual two characters in the set, the Zigzagoon and the Machop. And then the build of the set is more supposed to be a display that encompasses these figures, right? It doesn't really work with any other figures. You have to use these specific figures. That's what the set's designed around. And I find that very interesting. LEGO is like very like open. You can do whatever you want with it. The minifigures could fit in, but you can fit in your own minifigures. Well, these are designed very specially, so I did find that a bit strange when building. Another difference that I noticed with LEGO is Mega Bloks does not have the same stability standards. Like, this thing falls apart very, very easily. Like, it's solid as it is, but like, this, for example, you can see there's this entire function right here, right? This could fall off very easily. If this rock piece falls off, this entire bar area falls out. I've had it fall apart quite a few times with just slight movement. So that's not a great thing. But I do think the actual design of this and the play feature going on is pretty alright. So what you can see is, there's Zigzagoon hidden in this like little cavern right here, and there's Machop standing out front, and you pull back on this right here, Zigzagoon pops out of the cave, and Machop moves ever so slightly. It's not amazing, right? It's just very slight movement. Not too much is going on, but I think it's fun. It creates some dynamic motion, or at least creates the idea of motion. You can imagine a lot more going on. But yeah, let me take these two off so I can show you actually what the build of the set looks like. So yeah, here's how this little cave looks. I like this archway right here. It's not very stable. Again, like these pieces can come off quite easily, but I love the use of these little leaf pieces. These aren't pieces that exist in LEGO. These are like Mega Construx original pieces, and I think they look good, and I like the variants of like the single leaf versus the 3-leaf pieces. You have this smaller plant right here, which is actually on like a little rubber stem piece, so that way when you're moving it, the Zigzagoon can push past it, can actually just bend. I think that's a cool way to create some dynamic motion. I have noticed it pops out of the hole a little bit the more you push it. Like, I pushed it all the way in, you can see it's out a little bit already, and I've had it come out further, so the more you use the set, the more that'll come out. It'll probably fall apart eventually, but that's very easy to fix. It's just something I thought I should point out. The rock right here that holds the whole mechanism in place is actually a Pokemon face piece. It's the same piece they use for Machop and many other Pokemon. I'll show you that when we take a look at Machop, but see, yeah, if you remove this entire slotting feature just can come out completely, right? You just completely remove that, and I don't think that's good. I think a double locking mechanism where it's held down in like more than one place would be really nice here, and it shouldn't be too easy to customize if you have your own LEGO or Mega Bloks parts to customize it. But yeah, if you're picking this up and moving it, you can't grab it by this. You have to grab it by the main build, or else it will knock that rock piece off and just completely fall apart. The area where Machop stands is just on this like little circular platform, and it can rotate. Removing that, you can see the piece underneath it actually allows it to rotate. There's a very similar piece within LEGO that looks quite similar and has the same exact function. This one is not as good as the LEGO one. It gets caught up much easier. The LEGO one feels a lot smoother, but it still works well enough. I've never had too many issues with it. And you can see that rotating area has this 1x6 that sticks out and goes between these two pins right here that hold it in place, so that when you move this or you move this, they both move together. So you can have Zigzagoon coming out back there, and you can have Machop standing right here. He just connects to these studs right here, and that allows the entire function to have them move together. Come around the back, here's a little platform that Zigzagoon stands on. Not much going on here. It's just a 3x3 with one corner cut out so he can lift up one of his feet. There's a look at that archway from the back. And yeah, I don't think I have much else to say for this build. Overall, I think it's fine. It goes well with these two characters. Unfortunately, I don't think it has much play value outside of that, but it looks good. It's good enough for what it is. And you're probably not buying this set for the archway. You're probably buying it for the two figures that come in the set, so let's take a look at them. So here's the first of the two Pokemon, Galarian Zigzagoon, and this guy is amazing. I absolutely love him. He's the entire reason I got this set, and I was kind of worried he would come and he would not be nearly as good as he looked, but he's excellent. I absolutely love him. I think he's an amazing design for a Pokemon, and I think they translated him into Mega Construx form actually pretty well. My favorite part about him is probably the way they did his little ears right here. This is like a rubber piece, and it's unique, and it just connects between his head and his neck. And it allowed the Mega Construx team to like stick with their existing head design while also giving Zigzagoon his iconic head shape, and I think that was a great design choice, and I think he looks excellent. I love how vibrant the pink is in his eyes. I Kind of wish LEGO printed this well sometimes, because LEGO doesn't always have printing this good. Obviously, this is on white. I guess LEGO doesn't usually have issues on white, but yeah, the printing is vibrant and sharp and looks absolutely perfect. I love how he looks there. His little feet can each be rotated, so you can have him in like all sorts of different positions. So you can have him like leaping through the air like that, or you can have him like lounging on his back. The tail also moves too. You can rotate this. Obviously, it's the same on all sides, but you can move it up and down, side to side. There's quite a bit of expression you can get with this guy. My only real complaint is the neck, and you can only turn his head side to side. You can't actually like rotate it around. It's not on a ball joint, it's just on bars, so you can't have him like looking in any dynamic directions. He's just limited to side. But I don't think that's a huge deal because the rest of his body is so posable that like you could still get him in like lots of different poses. I just think it would have been cool if he also had that neck posability. But yeah, I think that's about gonna do it for him. So now let's move on to Machop. So here's Machop, and he is definitely not nearly as good as Galarian Zigzagoon, but I think he's alright. He definitely looks best in like dynamic action poses like I have him in right now, where you have him like punching or running or whatever. But when you stand him up, he actually still looks pretty alright. This is a remake of an older version of Machop. I went back and looked that one up, and that one was pretty bad in comparison. I really think this one's a lot better. You can see the face mold here is the same as the rock piece that they use in the build, so yeah, I think that's really cool parts reuse that they were able to use this for both Machop's head and the rock on the ground. He uses some rounded pieces on his torso just to give him a bit of a body while also allowing like the ball joints to move. You can see there's a gap right there for his arm to sit into when you have his arms down. Out the back you have a little tail right here because Machop himself does actually have a tail, even though I don't believe Machoke or Machamp do, and you can see you can rotate that however you want. The arms actually do have elbows, so you can get them in quite a few different positions if you wanted, so you can bend this front like this, and then the hand itself can also rotate. The handpiece is just connected on a stud, so you can actually just remove it and reattach it however you want, so if you want it in this orientation, you can. And sometimes it takes some playing around with him because there is so many options with the ways you could pose him, but you have to like turn the joints in a very specific way to get him to that point, but you can get him in some fairly decent poses where he's like punching or sitting with his arms to his side, and I think he does look quite good. Coming down to the legs rotate at the hips and also rotate at the knees. So you can like bend the knees and have him like sitting on the floor or whatever, or you can have like one leg up and one leg back like you saw in the intro. And then if you couldn't tell, the head itself can move. This is also on a ball joint. This is what I would have loved for the Zigzagoon. If his head was able to rotate like this, you can have him like looking to the side, you can have him look up, look down. Just a huge range of motion with the head right here, and it allows for a ton of different expression. It does give him like a little tiny neck right there, which looks a little bit odd, but that's not a huge deal, and I think it definitely makes up for it with the movable head. But yeah, overall, I think he's pretty good. I definitely do not like him as much as I like Zigzagoon, but I think he's pretty solid for what he is, and he's definitely one of the better Mega Bloks Pokemon. The set also comes with this little Dusk Ball pin, and I think that's interesting. I don't love it, but I think it's fine. One thing I'll say is Mega Construx is not great at bars, like the bars that like LEGO minifigures would hold. LEGO does it great. These guys, not so much. They have a bar attached right here, and I cannot get this apart. Like, you think taking apart two LEGO pieces is hard. Try taking apart these two parts. It's like literally impossible. So what you're supposed to do is take this blue backing off, and you can attach this to like whatever you would put a pin on, I guess. And you would have a little pin of a Dusk Ball, but I can't really get it to work because I put it together and now it's not coming apart. I'm not interested in putting it as a pin on anything, so it doesn't bother me too much, but yeah, if you guys are actually interested in using this as a pin, just keep that in mind. When you're building the set, maybe don't put it into the backing until you've attached it to whatever you want to use this as a pin for. So overall, what do I think of this Pokemon Mega Construx set? I am actually very happy with it. Even though I'm a huge fan of Pokemon, I've been critical of the Pokemon Mega Construx for years. I have not been interested in getting them at all because the Pokemon just didn't look good. But they definitely seem to have improved in recent years, and I think this set is a prime example of it. Both of these are pretty darn good. The Zigzagoon is like almost perfect. If he had a better neck joint, he would be absolutely perfect. But like without like posing him, if you just take a look at how he looks excellent, and he is exactly how you should do a building toy of a Pokemon. Machop still is a little funky because they have to allow for the joints and they're limited to the Mega Construx parts. He looks more like a toy than an actual creature, which I don't know if that's the best thing. But he is better than the original Machop, and I think he's still fairly decent for a modern Mega Construx Pokemon. So I'd say, yeah, I am happy with him. The build is fine. It's a nice way to display these two characters, but you really don't need it. It's got some interesting parts. I'd say, like, oh, it's good for mocks, but it's Mega Construx parts. I don't know how many people are making Mega Construx mocks, but yeah, there's some interesting colors. It's a cool aesthetic, but I don't care too much for it. Definitely a bit flimsy and does not lead to much imaginative play. There's pretty much one thing you can do with it, and that's the thing that they show in the box. But as, like, a display stand for these two figures, I think it's pretty good. So I'd say overall, yeah, I would recommend this set. Obviously, if you're not a Pokemon fan or you're not a Mega Construx fan, this set's probably not for you, but if you're curious about Pokemon Mega Construx, I think this is a good one to pick up because it's only $15. You get two of the modern versions of Pokemon, and you get two different ones, one quadrupedal, one bipedal, to get a look at how they do their different Pokemon. And hey, if you end up enjoying this set, you can go get some of their other ones too. Speaking of getting some of their other ones, let me know if you guys want to see me review any more of these in the comments. I have ordered one more just for myself, and I'll review it if you guys are interested, or I won't if you guys aren't. But if this video does well, I'll order even more and do more Mega Construx reviews, because I had a lot of fun with this, I had a lot of fun with this set, and I would love to collect more of these. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I think that's about going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please press like, subscribe if you're new. I do videos and reviews like this every single day. Usually it's covering LEGO, but this time it's Mega Construx, so who knows what's next. But thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!